So yeah, you pack your fears. This is a granddad seat really, isn't it? I can't lift this bike over jack shit. And I'm gonna climb into my... It's gone out again. I don't have a choice. I either turn around and go home today, or I just carry on over the top and keep on going. Okay, welcome to Badger's Bikepacking, which is an extension of my midlife crisis, which is going on at the moment. I have had loads of time off work, however, we're only just allowed to come into Scotland. We can't go abroad. So the 26th of April, which is today, is when Scotland has opened up. It doesn't seem opened up. Driving up here, it looks like they're really closed down. The cafes, they're just not ready for me. I drove up last night. I technically illegal, but because I crossed over the border yesterday, but I came straight to a campsite, spent the night in with the car, had a steak and a couple of beers, and sat by the side of a lock, which is a really pleasant night, and a nice sleep in the car, which is actually reasonably comfortable. The car is just loaded with wild camping, hiking, bike packing, car camping, all the gear I need to survive, and I'm sure I will. These 6 days, I've got 6 days. I may take 6 days, I may take 4 days bike packing, and then do a little bit of walking. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm in a place called Tindrum, which is the start of a bike packing race called the Highland 550, which is an off-road bike packing race. I looked originally at the Highland 550 and thought, 550 miles, I've got 6 days. Yeah, that works. I can do this. And then I started doing a little bit of off-road riding and realised that the pace that I was really going to make, and then I've done a fair bit of done the sums to work out. I've got basically a 9-hour elapsed time window of riding. I want to set off every day at 9 riding. It takes me about 20 minutes to sort out a bivvy and get going, about 45 minutes to sort out a hammock and get going, or a tent. I'm going to give myself an hour, get up at 8, set off at 9. I want to be wherever I'm going to be at the end of the day at about 6, because I want to enjoy the place that I'm going to be staying. I want to explore it a little bit, maybe get a little bit of wood sorted out. So that gives me 9 hours, and if I look at my average sort of pace over the Welsh ride and other rides, I think my elapsed time average speed is going to be about 5 miles an hour. So 9 hours, 45 miles. Actually, if there's a lot of single track, I may not even make that pace. So I think I'm going to be down at 35 miles a day. But I may be as good as 50, maybe a little bit more, but it could be down as 25. It really varies and depends on what the terrain's going to be like. So I've planned on 35 miles a day. I've got 6 days, so I've planned a route which is 210 miles. It heads up towards Aviemore, so it's all the Cairngorms, up towards the Cairngorms and then back down again. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I've got planned. Like I say, I may only do 4 days, so after 2 days I've got a decision point. Am I going to just cut it short, or am I going to do the full thing? So I do have some routes which cut down across to effectively shortcuts, which I've already planned in. Anyway, so I'm parked up. Yeah, they let me park here and leave the car, which is really good of them. They've got my details, and it's starting to rain. It's going to rain all day, I think. Typically, it hasn't been raining all week. It's going to rain just as I'm getting the bike sorted out. So I think I'm going to have to get the waterproofs on and get going. Anyway, so this video is just going to be me showing you the good bits, the bad bits, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Right, off we go. So yeah, you pack your fears, and my fears are the Scottish weather and breaking down. I'll give you a rough idea of what I've got in here. So that's spare clothing for a second day. That is nighttime clothing. This is basically a full hammock sleeping bag setup. So that is my everything sleeping. A couple of water bottles, 2 of these, that's overkill. I think I should have just gone for one. Exposure Strada 800. In here it's got some spare batteries and electrics, a bit of spare space in there. Sort of only deep maintenance tools I've fitted in there, which haven't gone on too badly. In here is, again, pump, 2 spare inner tubes. I accepted the weight and I'm just going to take 2. This is about 1.4 litres, but because it's made of metal I can cook with it if I need to, but it's a bit more hardcore than the other one. I got my water filter as well. Then on the top here, right, I'll explain. I've got my lightweight tent in here. Basically, there are some nice places to hammock in Scotland. So I've got some good places to hammock, but there are big areas where there's just no real, you know, where it's like that. Not steep, I hope, but you know, there's just no real good trees to get hammock up. So I was going to take a bivvy and a little blow up mat as a backup sort of emergency option, but then I realised the weight difference between my Rab Ascent and that MSR Carboflex 1 tent, which is seriously light, is 150 grams, and I thought, just in case there are midges, because the weather is going to get a bit better, it gives me a tent versus a bivvy. So I've got 2 sleep systems. I'm a bloody idiot. I could have all that extra space. There we go. I'm going to take the gamble. I'm going for a little bit of luxury. And then either side here, that is solid food. So I've got a full load of food if I need it, which I think I will, except for lunches. And then a cook set cutlery and all that sort of stuff. So food and cooking gear, pots and everything. And then in here I've got waterproofs, some food for the day, water filters in there, my spot tracker, my PLB, personal locator beacon, and a load of other stuff, you know, phone and keys and all that sort of stuff that I just want to keep on me should I have an accident. But it is really heavy. I've also taken, I've got 2 puffer jackets in there as well, stupidly, because I forgot I had one on when I set off. So now I've got 2 puffer jackets, which is a little bit annoying. But anyway, there we go. It's a really heavy bike. I'm late starting. It's sort of lunchtime. I was going to set off at 10. It's 12. The amount of time it took me to fit all the bags on and load everything up. There we go. So I've got going at last. This has all of a sudden gone from gravel track, which I think it's called the East Highland Way, but all the way on the drive up here, it just looked like this hard packed gravel track. And of course, as soon as I get on it, it just turns into this very technical. I started cycling up it and it was going okay, but this has got too risky with this weight on this bike. I'm just going to have to accept that today is going to be a slow day. I haven't gone very far. Do you want to have a look at the saddle? Don't laugh. Have you ever heard of them? Don't know. Deep groove design, gel, reactive gel, suspension, loads of... This is a granddad seat, really, isn't it? Granddad seat. Oh, what's the Brooks if it's not a granddad seat? But the Brooks was okay actually, but I just thought that this might be even better. The Brooks was good, like I say, but the Brooks I think it would be better on my gravel bike. I might put it on my gravel bike because I'm not too happy with that saddle. But we'll see how this goes. It's still spitting with rain, and the weather I can see is coming in. But looking down the valley, which is where I'm heading, I sort of parallel the road, so I've always got a backup option if I'm having a little nightmare. I'm getting wet, I better go. So hopefully that gate will open, but I think it's padlocked. I can't lift this bike over jack shit. The rain has stopped, which is good, and I've dropped off that track up there, which wasn't too bad in the end actually. But the great thing about 29-inch things with 3 inches of rubber is that it just all the little bumps and stones, you don't even notice them. Don't notice them in the slightest. This thing really does just roll over them. Very good. It is a Land Rover. I said it before, it's a Landy, but it really is. I got too much stuff. I got far too much stuff. Hello, mate. Well, Scotland delivers rain. So I've worked out. So the rules on wild camping are that you're allowed to wild camp anywhere except there are certain areas. One of those areas is somewhere that's been enclosed, i.e. there's a fence. And so what a lot of this area is just fenced off. So even if you wanted to wild camp, I mean down there I think would be great on that little island, which you can't actually get to. That would be fantastic, although it would be windy today, but yeah, it's not let, you just can't get in there. Everything is fenced off. There are a few pine trees up there I could get to if I need to. So there are places, but a lot of it is fenced off. But unfortunately, I'm into wind as well. So wind and the rain. Yeah, two things. If you know me, you know that I don't like any two of the three. And it's not cold, but it's a little bit nippy. But it's not bad. The bike's doing okay, but it's far too overloaded. And when I was loading it up, there were things I was putting in there, like a solar panel. Things that I was putting in, I was thinking, that's not not going to use it. You're just adding weight. So yeah, you pack your fears, like I said before. So, but I'm good for the weather, I think, in terms of clothing and warmth. Sleep systems I'm good for. Food, cooking, I think I've got everything covered. The one thing I'm worried about, like I said, the other thing I'm worried about as well as the weather, my other fear is the bike breaking. The only thing I don't have are spare spokes, and I'm not very good at doing spokes. I've only done them once, and that was a long time ago. It's a beautiful place, it's just very wet. There's a deer there somewhere. I can see him, but I doubt this GoPro can see him. He's just, there he is, he's off. Yeah, he's had enough. So this is an old military road. It's not too bad. You could do this on a gravel bike. I think you could do a lot of what I've done today so far on a gravel bike. Bearing in mind I've only been going for about 3 hours. Yeah, you could do most of it on a gravel bike. There's that one bit that you definitely couldn't do, certainly, where you'd be off walking it. But yeah, you could have got to where I am here. This, I think, goes on for quite a long way. I think this will become a bit jarring after a while on a gravel bike. But if you had 650Bs, all doable with a lot less weight, which you could do as well. But so thinking about tent spots or hammock spots, there are hammock spots. Still lots of hammock spots all over this area here. I've only found 2 or 3 really good tent spots, and they all had tents in them. The good thing about a hammock is that you don't have to worry, you know, that you're not competing really for pitches. Anyway, keep going. Right, so to the next town, which I think is Kinlochleven, is about 15 miles. I've got 3 hours to get me there for 6. So at my pace I'm going, I can make that. The only snag is that hill's there. I basically got to drop down into a valley, and then I've got a 1200 foot climb up, and I think it might be single track, which will really slow me down, which will therefore mean that at best I'll get to the town at sunset, which will mean there's probably not an easy place to pitch a tent or a hammock or anything like that. So I think I'm going to drop down this next bit into the valley and see if I can find somewhere to set myself up for the evening. So unfortunately, rather than going for the green, I'm having to drop short. But I think that's the sensible thing to do on day one. It is bleak up here. I can't see any signs of life anywhere. I see no houses, nothing. I'm up towards the cloud layer now, which is just up there. But yeah, that's my plan A. Here's a little trick. So there's a low pressure coming through, and that's what's causing this rain. But as soon as the low pressure's gone, the north side of it is some good weather. Now I'm heading west at the moment. Put your back to the wind and the low pressure is on your left. So I put my back to the wind, the low pressure is over there. I'm heading west, which means the low pressure is south, and it was running north to south. So that means the bad weather is gone. Hopefully, I think that's the bad weather gone. Okay, you know when you're going too slow, when you're pushing your bike up the rocky bit and then a runner runs past you. I haven't seen anyone up here. Maybe there is someone else ahead. He just came out of nowhere. Scared the living daylights out of me. Well, that was I got the descent down quite quick actually. It was really rocky. Again, not gravel bike. That would have been very uncomfortable on a gravel bike. Yeah, and I've come down into this valley hoping to find some trees, and there's nothing. It is just barren, sweet FA here. If I could just have 30 seconds of that, I'd be at the other end of this valley where I need to be. So basically I need to cross over here and then go over there, and then along this side of this mountain, it's a hill, along the side of that is a climb up. It's quite a way. Okay, so there's a camp option for a tent, so I can get a tent in there if I need to quite comfortably. So it's this time of night, a couple of hours before I'm looking to pitch really, although it's 4 hours until it gets dark. It's 2 hours until I want to get sorted, so now's the sort of time to obviously be thinking about where you're going and whether you're going to do it or not, particularly if there's the mountains and wind and etc involved. But the other thing to think about is yeah, backup options. So if it really got bad up there, I know that I've got a downhill pretty much all the way back to there as an option. And I'm sure there'll be other places down along here as well. I mean, let's face it, I think that's going to be a hotel. In fact, okay, it's 4:30, and yeah, so I dropped down where I did the last clip of video, and there's a hotel, and there are some really nice pines back over there. I'm just going to go and have a look. Yeah, this is better. There's a lot of deadfall over there, so I think I'll just pitch up here. There's a bit of wind coming in from that way though, so I don't want to pitch that way. I need to pitch across with my tarp pitched down. The fire is there, so you're gonna be my mate? You're gonna look after me, little man? Hello. Hello, little fella. You are the tamest little bird I've ever experienced. I'm very brave. Oh. Well, I'm just about set up. I'll show you in a sec, but we come out of the forest. So there's the hotel. There's that guy with his tent. The rain has come in. The cloud has dropped, and I was going to be going up there, up into the cloud. So I would be probably halfway up there now, and not enjoying it. And the temperature has just plummeted. I'm so glad I brought this this additional puffy jacket, and then I got this puffy jacket. I've got some thermals if I really need them. I might put those on tonight because I feel really cold. I'm gonna get my gloves out in a second. I got Rodney, who's my little sidekick, Batman and Robin. He's been bouncing around saying hello. Really tame. Anyway, here's my setup for the night. It ain't great, I'm gonna be honest. So all I've got to do is make sure that this is pulled up. So I'll tighten this up a bit later on, sort that out, get that round to the other side to try and hold it up. But what you definitely don't want is the air being pulled out from under there. So you need this tucked in real nice and tight. So that's okay. Got some stones down on the pegs. Bike can just stay there. Oh, there's my little Robin friend, my sidekick. Yeah, and this side's fairly good, so it's not too bad this side. Bike would be okay there. The rain's not actually getting in here, so this is a really good pitch. I may get a fire going, but I'm just going to get myself warm, make sure this is set ready, and then I've got to get some food in me. Sounds like a steam train. So chicken curry tonight with some rice, a couple of beers which I've got here, some brew dog. It is cold, my feet are getting cold now, so as soon as this is over I'm going to get my socks on and I'm going to climb into my... It's gone out again. No idea. It keeps going out. Gas is so much easier. I just don't remember this faff. I remember it being relatively straightforward. Prime it, get it going, let it get going priming, and then light it, and you get but this one's huffing and puffing, so I don't know. It's the right nozzle. Yeah, it's the right nozzle. I don't know. Kind of a deal breaker. It's chuffing cold. My feet are frozen. I got my evening socks on. My thermals, but I haven't got any leggings. I need to put some leggings on. Noodles, and I got a chicken curry down there, and Adventure Foods chicken curry. Eventually got this Primus thing going. It just needs constant pressure being put in. Didn't used to have to do as much of that with the MSR. Well, it's time to get up. It's 8:15. I'm late again. And last night was heavy winds. Then the wind stopped. It went really calm. Then the rain came. Then the rain stopped. Then it got really windy. And then it all stopped.
and now it's just nice and quite peaceful. There's a little bit of a wind, but not much. Yeah, I've been doing lots of planning. The trouble with cycling in Scotland is that there are no shortcuts. It's not like England when you can get on any little lane and get somewhere. These mountains kind of get in the way. So I'm making such a slow pace, really. 20 miles, which is what I achieved yesterday. Now, I only started at 11 o'clock, but all the same, you know, that is pretty slow going. Okay, up, absolutely fallen on my feet. There was a bunkhouse back there, at the back of the bunkhouse were the showers. Now the bunkhouse is all closed up, but the showers and toilets were all still open, although they turned the hot water off, which was unfortunate. But anyway, so just go to the toilet, have a cold shower is better than nothing, clean your teeth, just have space to sort your life out. Oh, I feel so much better now. There's a lady in there in a different shower, chatting away. She's wild camping, so this is the West Highland Way. I got confused. It's not the east, it's the west, and I'm heading west. Right, all packed up. Leave no trace. Nothing there. Got my rubbish. Take that up. Leave no tree straps either. Been there before. So yeah, bike's all set. I'm about half an hour behind the curve. I think I'm going to cut the corner and hit the main road for 2 miles rather than do a hilly climb and then back down, rocky. I'll just hit the road for 2 miles, suffer the traffic, and then start the main climb up over the ridge. Then it's lunch in a place called Kinlochleven or something like that. Maybe grab some supplies, and then I head up, and I'm going to stay near a loch I think tonight. There's also a train station there, so I'll reassess my situation. But if I'm flying along, then I'll crack on. But really, that is the decision point there. The one thing that this bike is no good at is hiker bike, and this is what I've got. It's basically red on the Garmin climb meter, and it's 820 feet remaining. I've probably done 50 feet. This is not what I imagined. I don't have a choice. I either turn around and go home today, or I just carry on over the top and keep on going. So I'm just going to keep going for now. Yeah, this is not an option. So a couple of guys were running down, and they said there's no way when you get to the top you're not going to be able to do it. And these guys just gone up here have just said, no mate, you'll get this, you'll get so far, and then you just have to go all the way back down again. Not quite what he said, but he pretty much said, yeah right, you're not going to make it. Oh shit. So my only option then is turn around and go all the way back to the car, which I really don't want to do, or take the A road down here, then B road along the loch, reassess my position, because any sort of climbing like this on single track with this bike is just a non-starter. It's ridiculous. Trouble is, I got quite a lot of single track. I think my route's screwed. My route's screwed. I might end up I'll get off this high ground, and then I'll go and work out what I'm going to do. But I don't have many options. Like I say, Scotland has got mountains in the way, and I've either got A roads and a big loop of A road, or go back the way I've come, or many miles of this. Fundamental flaws in my planning. Okay, those walkers have convinced me. I got about a third of the way up, so about 300 foot up, and it was getting harder and harder, and they said you won't get the last bit. Or he said, you're going to find it really tough with that much weight. And that's just one bit, and then that's committed me to being down over that side. The next bit is even further and single track. So I'm completely re-planning my little expedition. I'm gonna have to go down this road, which is downhill down this valley, and then I'm going around the other way. So instead of basically going up round to the north, I'm basically going to the west and then around to the south. And there is a lot of road there, but I've realized this is not a single track option with this bike. Downhill, I mean I did it yesterday, so you can do it, but you really don't make the miles. And my snag is that I'll end up committing myself around that way, and because I'm not making the miles, there is no shortcut to cross back over. I was worried doing those climbs with all those rocks, and the back wheel would drop off a rock or something, and these mounts here have been known to crack. I'm kind of hoping that that Track have fixed it since there's lots of cases of it. The front rack seems to have no problems, but the rear rack just cracks there. This was so much the best option. I was rock bottom, about to I was very close to just going, screw it, I'm just gonna have to go home. 3 options, and I really didn't think that going south was going to be any viable option. Just roads everywhere. Why would I want to do that? But actually it's been anything but. Other than that, and I remember looking and just seeing that the A road I was next to, which had heavy traffic, all the forestry trucks, and I could just see them winding up the hill. Oh my god, I'm not climbing up a hill on an A road. You know, I just couldn't see it. But actually, as soon as I got around that corner, it was just downhill, great fun, plus a lovely little route through some tracks and trails to here, and some lunch, and a great venison burger. Yeah, making good ground now. Much happier. It just goes to show the highs and lows that you get with something like this, and you do all that planning and you just chuck it out the window and then just replan. I'm just lucky there's an option, but there we go. Happy days now. Whoa, now it gets nasty. Got switchback after switchback. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Reminds me of Bavaria. Oh, check it out. Oh yeah. I'd rather gravel, but I'll take this. Oh, hey! Whoa! Whoa! Switchback!
Oh, that corner. Brilliant. Okay, it's a no-brainer really. So we've got a nice little forest area. So I'll probably go and have a look up here. I'm not going anywhere else. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere that's as convenient and on the route as this. And if I can't find anything just up the trail here, and what I don't want to do is piss people off, so I don't want to be on the trail or right on the trail. But if I really have to, I can come down here. There's a picnic table, there's all that sort of stuff. I can sling my hammock in there, no problem. I think it's alright. It doesn't say I can't camp here. Right, so from the picnic area, I thought I'd come up and explore up at this reservoir, but it was about a 25 minute hiker bike. No, not too much pushing, but so I've got this, the bike's down there, so I need to bring that round up here. There's this little area here which is possible for the tent, easily for the tent. It's just a matter of whether the pegs go in or not, so I'm not sure about that. Or now I've only got one tree there, that pine, but if I run up to this stump here as well, yeah, run around this stump and down, I can get a good hang going here. There's tons of wood, this stuff burns like nothing, and I've got a safe place to do it, and no one's going to hassle me here. So, and there's tons more wood here. That's what I feel like. I feel like peace and quiet, a paracetamol, and a bloody great fire. It's better than the than going down. And that picnic area was great, and I don't think anyone would cause me any issues. But what I know is that if this just doesn't work out, I've always got that as my backup plan. But the trouble is, there are going to be people there for quite some time because it's a lovely evening, so they're going to be there until 8:30, whatever. And I want to get set up early and get a fire going and things like that, so I think that's my best option. Right, set up. So I got a wind coming in from this direction, from the northeast, but I know that's going to fall off later on. So my hammock isn't best set up for that, but this fir tree is helping protect that a little bit. So there's my setup anyway. So basically lifting the hammock up from there up to here over this stick, and then down, that's pegged. So that's holding my my tarp out, and then I've pitched it low around the back to try and stop some of the wind. And I'm just going to have to make sure, well, I have made sure that my underquilt is really tucked up under there, so I should be good tonight from the wind, because if that wind gets in, then I'm definitely going to get cold. So it's all about stopping that wind getting in there. But yeah, it's gone up pretty well. Quite happy with it. Perfect little pitch, perfect little view. Looking out over here, over the forests, and I will set a little fire going here. But first of all, I'm going to have my beer. I'll have one beer, then I'll do the wood, because I'm not soaring after a bottle of wine. That would be bad. So I'll process all my wood now, but I got a ton of this old pine, and that's been lifted up, raised up, so it's nice and dry. That'll burn like nothing tonight. Don't know how much I'll get through, but yeah, I want a fire tonight. I want a paracetamol, wine. I'd love a steak, but I didn't get any. And I had a big lunch, so I'm not too fussed. So I'll have a chili con carne and some rice or something like that.
There we go. So I think that's a pretty good little pitch for the night. No one's going to be up here. Got it all to myself, and I can set off whenever I want tomorrow, and it's all downhill to start off with. So today has gone from AM, which was shit, and I was contemplating throwing the towel in, but a little bit of thought, and yeah, and it paid off, and it's turned out to be a really good day. I made loads of miles, feeling a little bit ropey now, a little bit knackered. I think I haven't had any salts or anything like that, so I got some salty peanuts. I love them, and yeah, speak to you in a minute. This is good. Silky saw, fold out saw. It's a Pocket Boy 130 10, which is, I wanted something a little bit finer, but it's going through this stuff just fine. But you get to probably about that sort of thickness, and it starts becoming a bit of a pain in the ass. So it's good for the smaller stuff, and then the rest of it I'm just going to lie down on there ready to go into the fire. But it's a bit of a luxury, but if you want to have fires, these really do make your life a hell of a lot easier. And this one's, yeah, it's not too, they're really sort of, they go through anything pretty well. It's a pull saw, so you don't push, you snap it. See you later. I may have had a few drinks, don't hold it against me. Right, I'm tucked in now because there's a bit of rain coming in. Amazingly, I've got 4G signal up here, so the rain is just sort of trickling in. I'm trickling through this. You know what, I'm gonna have a little swim tomorrow morning as well, maybe. I've brought all the wood in here just to keep it dry. I'm gonna give this about 30-40 minutes and just check online, make sure it's gone over, and then get the fire going. This is midlife crisis. Quite a little bit of ow. They could just get a jet foil. Let's be honest. You're joking me. What the f